The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 is one of the most perplexing mysteries in aviation history. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, bound for Beijing, China, with 239 people on board. However, the aircraft disappeared from radar screens less than an hour after takeoff. The sudden and complete disappearance of a modern commercial airliner is highly unusual. MH370 vanished from radar screens approximately 40 minutes after taking off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. It was expected to make contact with air traffic control in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, but it never did. There were no distress signals or communication indicating any problems on board. The abrupt and total disappearance of a modern airliner was unprecedented. MH370's flight path is one of the most baffling aspects of the mystery. It made a series of strange turns and altitude changes before eventually heading south over the Indian Ocean. These maneuvers appeared deliberate and seemed to indicate that someone with knowledge of the aircraft was in control. After disappearing from radar, MH370 executed a series of unusual maneuvers. It turned sharply off its planned flight path, initially heading west back across the Malaysian peninsula before turning south. It then made a number of additional turns and altitude changes as it headed toward the southern Indian Ocean. These actions suggested deliberate control by someone with knowledge of the aircraft's systems. Shortly after its disappearance, key communication systems on the aircraft were intentionally disabled. The aircraft's transponder, which sends information about the plane's location and identification to radar, ceased transmitting. The Aircraft Communications Addressing and Reporting System, ACARS, which automatically reports technical data to the airline, was also shut down. This led investigators to believe that someone with knowledge of the aircraft was involved. Despite extensive search efforts, the main wreckage of MH370 remained elusive for over a year. The first confirmed piece of debris, a flaperon, washed ashore on Reunion Island in the western Indian Ocean in July 2015. Additional debris, including items like a wing flap and personal items, was subsequently found on islands in the Indian Ocean. However, the main body of the aircraft has not been located, leaving the precise location of the crash site and the reason for the crash unknown. Some theories have suggested that the aircraft's disappearance and erratic flight path may have been the result of intentional actions by someone on board, possibly one of the pilots. The reasoning behind this theory includes the deliberate disabling of communication systems and the execution of flight maneuvers that appeared to avoid radar detection. However, there is no conclusive evidence to support this theory, and the motivation for such actions remains a subject of speculation and investigation. The search for MH370 was one of the most extensive and complex in aviation history. It involved vast stretches of the southern Indian Ocean, an area with challenging weather conditions and deep water. The lack of specific information about the aircraft's location and the uncertainty surrounding its flight path made the search difficult. In January 2017, after an exhaustive search, the Australian-led search effort was suspended. Subsequent private searches and investigations have also failed to provide definitive answers. The disappearance of MH370 remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in aviation history, with many unanswered questions and various theories. The tragedy has led to significant changes in aviation procedures and an increased emphasis on tracking and communication technology to prevent similar incidents in the future.